Hello, I'm Matteo, the Chief Mobile Opinionist here at Tech Travel Geeks, and this is a Tech Travel Geeks Earphone Tuesday video of the unboxing and review of the Outlier Pro by Creative Labs. So Creative Labs is a brand that I've known since the mid-90s. They used to be really specialised in audio cards when audio cards were really quite a speciality in the PC market. And I was really quite tickled by the fact that Creative reached out to us and asked us to review the Creative Labs Outlier Pro wireless earphones. And so I'm happy to do that. We're here with the parcel as it was delivered from Creative. And what these offer is true active noise cancellation, 15 to 16 hours battery life on a charge on the earbuds, and with the case up to 60 hours playback without needing to charge. So this is really quite an impressive number that they're advertising. And in terms of the packaging, it has a lot of specs and details on the parcel, and you can see it has a little bit of a lip at the top. So this is meant for physical retail stores as much as it is for online purchases. I'm going to use my jerry-rig everything knife to open up the packaging and see what's inside. Oh wow, that's quite the impressive packaging. So we have details of the charging necessary to keep them going and how to set them up, and the pairing. Let's go ahead and do that once we've opened the packaging. So little plastic transparent lid that shows you what's on the inside. Let's take this out. Whoops. And on the inside we have a bag which contains the usual charging cable. Let's have a look at that. So it's a plastic bag. Oh, there we go. So this is USB Type A to USB Type C. This is great news if you have an Android device, because you'll be able to charge the Creative Outlier Pros using your phone charger as well. When you're traveling, you won't necessarily need to take a separate charger from them. That is, unless you have a fruity phone from the Apple company, and you might need a separate cable, if not a separate charger altogether. So, little read-me first details and how to download the Creative Labs SXFI app. So we'll go ahead and do that in a moment. Outlier Pro details. We have quick start guide with pretty good depictions here and colors, which is good to see. A lot of these tend to be in black and white, but this is colored, and an extra leaflet about safety. So let's have a look at the earbuds themselves. So before we open the earbuds, let's take the plastic wrapper off the buds themselves, the case to the buds themselves. And just so that you know, this does support Qi wireless charging, so you can charge these on a wireless charger as well. Now, to open up the case, let's see how I do that. I thought it was oh, there we go. So this is the case itself. Need to pop the earbuds into the case to charge them, as the instructions say. Great. I'm going to leave these to charge, and whilst I'm at it, I'm also going to plug them into USB Type-C, just to make sure they charge. What I'm going to do next is, on video, on camera, set them up with my smartphone, and then we'll update you further on the plans from there on. Okay then, so I'm back, and I've charged the Creative Outlier Pros overnight, and what I'm going to do now is pair them with my Google Pixel 6 Pro. Pro to Pro, as they would say. So what the plan is here is to set them up, and I'll be using these on our trip to London for a smartphone launch, and we'll see how they get on as part of this. Now, first impression is that the earphones are relatively large, but that's to be expected considering the battery size and other features in them, including those drivers. And as you can see, when I search for them on Bluetooth, I see Outlier Pros there. I'm going to tap on these and pair them. So there we are, we're connected. And there is an app called SXFi app or SXFi app. And this gives you some additional settings for your earphones. You can adjust the equalizer on the music you're listening to. You can map your headphones the way you listen to music and manage your devices from here. So as I said, I'll be using this app with the earbuds on my trip to London, and then we'll be back with next week with the full review of these Creative Outlier Pro earbuds. Speak to you soon.
So that should be us recording. And here I am back wearing the Creative Outlier Pros, and just as a sample video, as usual, we're video calling our Chief Aperture Officer, Lukasz. Hi, Lukasz. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks, Matteo. How are you doing?
Good. Better after the tiredness of our trip to London and maybe a bit of a cold or something else, but we'll skip that and just say that I'm feeling good. Especially with these Outlier Pros that I've been using for the last week or so. And I have to say that as far as wireless earbuds go, these are definitely fitting to their price category, as in they are a set of premium wireless earphones with active noise cancellation, which have great battery life and have done well on my trip to London, but also at the weekend whilst I was cutting the grass. So well done to Creative here. But when I speak about the price bracket, these are priced around about £80 sterling, which is about $100 US. So they are more expensive than other brands that we've reviewed recently on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel. So you'd expect the quality of sound, the quality of battery life, and the overall quality of the build to be better, and they definitely are. So when it comes to premium headphones, these are a very different setup from, say, the Honor Buds Pro that we reviewed recently here on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel. These don't have the stem bit coming down from them. They are a great set of headphones, though, especially for audiobooks and for, more importantly, for podcasts. That's what I've been using them for, mainly for the last week, and they perform very, very well. So that's it. How do they sound to you from a microphone video call standpoint?
Yeah, they sound good and no problem. And they give me a lot of nostalgia after, the good old times of Sound Blaster 16 by Creative, Sound Blaster 32, setting up the IRQ settings in Auto Exec BAT. If any of our audience remember those times, leave us a comment below. But Creative is such a big brand from the 90s that it makes me remember the good old times.
Yes. For those of you who are younger, Lukasz was referring to sound cards, something that you had to usually add to your PC. It didn't come included in many cases. And the fact that they were 16-bit sound cards. They had 16-bit dedicated chips for handling sound. It was amazing back in the day. We're talking about early to mid-90s. Nowadays, that's all built in. You have one decent ISP or audio chip inside your smartphone that does everything for you. But when it comes to Sound Creative, obviously we mentioned a nostalgic brand. But if the Outlier Pro, Creative Outlier Pro earbuds are anything to go by, they definitely have space to make quite the comeback in the audio segment with these earbuds. The battery life is really good. The noise cancellation, both on the tube, on the train, and more importantly, when I was cutting the grass at the weekend, was very, very good. So I think that we may be seeing the regrowth of the Creative brand, but in a slightly different space, in the wireless headphone space.
I think they used to do speakers as well. They were quite popular back in the day.
Both the 5.1 and the 7.1 surround sound systems, they used to handle all that clever stuff with lots of wires, if I don't go wrong. But Wires are one way you can charge the Outlier Pros. You can use that USB Type-C port at the side. But the way I've been using them on my desk is the wireless Qi charger. So in my experience, the wireless charging is pretty decent. Then again, the overall battery life of the earbuds themselves and the case is quite impressive. So it's around about 15 hours. I've never had to use the earbuds for more than 12 hours, so I can't really speak for that level of charge and battery life. But the declared 15 hours per charge on the earbuds and a total of 60 hours of charge with the case is quite an impressive one. So in my experience, it gets close to it, but I've never had to go more than 12 hours with the earbuds constantly in. Have you ever gone through such a marathon, Lucas?
I don't think so, unless you forget your charger and you just go on a long trip and then remember, oh, I forgot that thing. I don't have my Qi charger. But nowadays you can recharge it with reverse wireless, like on the Nothing phone. So that's another solution as well.
How's that review coming on, Lucas?
Yeah, the phone is great. So expect a review in the next few weeks, hopefully. The camera looks not too bad, but the design is really good. So
Good.
It's a nice different phone.
Do you think we should release that slow motion you took on the Nothing phone of the fat going onto the barbecue in slow motion as a YouTube short?
Maybe, as well as a video of your cat who's just behind you.
Yes, this is Ronan, who's decided to join in the fun. He does quite enjoy popping onto my shoulder and onto my seat behind me. But the good thing is I hardly even notice them because I have active noise cancellation turned on. It does drown out cat meows. It does handle audio quite well. The only thing I noticed it doesn't handle is running water. Whoops. So it doesn't handle running water too well. But apart from that, everything else you throw at them seems to be pretty decent. Great. So overall, having looked at the quality of the sounds, I can say obviously I've been using them mainly for podcasts and audiobooks. But if you are listening to music, they have an equalizer in the Creative app. So depending on the type of music you're listening to, you can adapt the sound to sound the way you want it. So either more or less bass or treble, or a mix of the two, depending on what you're listening to. But I'd say overall, the Creative Outlier Pros are good for music as well. By default, the sound is a bit flat, but if you mess around with the settings and you like the basic music, you can get that as well. So, good show from Creative. Thanks to Creative for sending us this set of earbuds for review. It's a thumbs up from us, from an independent reviewer standpoint. And we'll link in the description to where you can find out more about Creative, where you can purchase these earbuds on the Amazon UK website, and where my other kitten has decided to get on the seat and have a play around. So yeah, I'd say let's wrap up this review saying yes, they're a recommended product from us. And if you don't already, please do subscribe to the Tech Travel Geeks here on YouTube. We have warring kittens, consumer electronics, gadgets, accessories, anything we think makes the travel experience better. And if you have any further questions about the Creative Outlier Pro or any other videos we have on the Tech Travel Geeks YouTube channel, feel free to leave it as a comment in the section below. If we don't get back to you in the comment, we'll do our best to maybe include your answer in a future video. But for now, from myself and our Chief Aperture Officer, Lukasz, thanks for watching and good night from us.